We all know Lara Croft is the main character in the Tomb Raider series. She was a phenomenon when she stood up against the rule of masculine protagonists like Duke Nukem and Super Mario. In this video, we zoom in on the history of Tomb Raider. Can you believe they wanted a male, Indiana Jones-like character for Tomb Raider at first? Sony didn't even want the game on the still-to-be-released PlayStation. Of course, they ended up making Lara Croft the main hero in Tomb Raider. The game was released in 1996 on PlayStation, PC, and Sega Saturn.
Right, now I'd better take off these wet clothes.
The ever-so-sexy Lara Croft has not always been the smooth and curvy lady she is today. Back in the day, she was really blocky. Her breasts could poke your eyes out. Tomb Raider combined action with adventure, and for the first time, cutscenes were an important part of the game. One year later, Tomb Raider 2 was launched, adding more detail to the environment and to Lara Croft. Lara became less blocky, and she visited more locations around the world. In 1988, the Tomb Raider series showed its first signs of decline. Tomb Raider 3 once again brought Lara to the same type of environments gamers had seen before. Was Tomb Raider getting old? Maybe, but selling 6.5 million copies worldwide, there wasn't any reason to complain. Tomb Raider: The Last Revelation was the fourth and the last game in the series made for PC and PlayStation. It was released in 1999 and sold more than 5 million copies worldwide. 1 year later, the worst-sold Tomb Raider up until that time was released. Tomb Raider Chronicles practically retold the stories of Lara's previous adventures. The game introduced bar swinging, but meant the end of Lara as we knew her. It sold a mere 1.5 million copies. In the time that followed, several companies bought a license to make portable Tomb Raider games. Years of making Lara Croft more natural were undone by Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance games in the Tomb Raider series. Luckily, Tomb Raider had become a phenomenon. Even non-gamers knew about the adventures of Lara Croft. Hollywood picked up on the hype, putting Angelina Jolie in the tight outfits of Lara Croft. The first Tomb Raider movie was released in 2001, followed by Tomb Raider: The Cradle of Life in 2003. In the same year the second movie was released, the game finally made a comeback on a new generation of consoles. The PlayStation 2 had launched, and Tomb Raider: Angel of Darkness made the sexy adventurer more sinister. Instead of exploring caves and ancient ruins, Lara was climbing and sneaking in a city environment. Even though it still sold 2.5 million copies, many people hated the game. Angel of Darkness surely is the symbol for the darker years in the Tomb Raider franchise. Publisher Eidos said goodbye to core design and signed the game studio Crystal Dynamics to create the next game in the series. In 2006, the legendary female hero made her comeback in Tomb Raider: Legend. Lara made her first appearance on a number of consoles, including Nintendo DS, GameCube, and both Xbox consoles. It would turn out to be the most successful game in the franchise since The Last Revelations, selling 4.5 million copies worldwide. Legend introduced QuickTime events, a game feature that was quite popular at the time. Thanks to the next-generation Xbox 360, Lara Croft looks stunning, not only in her adventurer outfit, but also in her sexy black dress. With a new game studio and a new generation of consoles, the series was back in business.
It's turned out quite nicely.
Not only was Tomb Raider: Legend a good revival, it also meant it had been 10 years since the first game in the series launched, something that was celebrated with Tomb Raider Anniversary. Commercially, however, it underperformed. With 1.5 million copies sold, it became the worst-selling Tomb Raider game of all time, if you leave the Game Boy games out of the equation, of course. In 2008, Tomb Raider Underworld launched as the graphically most impressive game in the series. Moves of a gymnast had been captured to provide Lara with realistic movements in her environment. Once again, Lara's search for treasure, this time from a Viking legacy. Oh, and by the way, did you notice Lara stopped wearing her baby blue shirt? After Underworld, it once again became quiet in the Tomb Raider land. Yes, Lara Croft got her own cooperative puzzle adventure game with Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light. And yes, Underworld, Anniversary and Legend were bundled as a Tomb Raider trilogy for PlayStation 3. But these games were not legitimate new Tomb Raider games. 2012 is an important year for Tomb Raider fans. Publisher Eidos Interactive has been bought by Square Enix and decided to reboot the series. By the end of this year, we will play a new Tomb Raider adventure, simply called Tomb Raider. In the new Tomb Raider, we will play as a younger and much more vulnerable Lara Croft. And the younger Lara is clearly not as developed as her older self. Not yet.